Daytona, Monza, Brooklands, and here, just outside Paris, Montlhéry. This was one of the world's first purpose-built circuits, a huge concrete bowl designed to let the public get a 360-degree spectacle of races from the infield.
It is seriously steep.
At its most extreme, it's 51 degrees, and you've got to be doing at least 90 miles per hour to actually stick to the surface at the top.
The bank section is what makes this place so special. It was designed nearly a century ago to take cars weighing up to 1 tonne at speeds of up to 140 miles an hour, yet the speeds crept up and records were broken. The black and white footage of this place just gives a taste, and amuse-bouche if you will, of what it was like to race here. The technology back then was barely a few steps ahead of the horse and cart. Tyres that wore out, engines that exploded, and for driver safety, they'd rather be thrown free of the wreckage than be seatbelted in to burn.
Italian manufacturers did really well here. Alfa Romeo, Maserati took their first Formula One win in 1933. And then the Germans arrived. They returned to race in 1934-35 in the Silver Arrows and just dominated. And of course this place was paid for by a lot of local car manufacturers and component manufacturers who wanted to see French victories, so they were a bit knocked by this.
At a time just before the Second World War, when tensions between France and Germany were high, a time trial was held with a fantastic prize of 1 million French francs. It was hoped by the organiser that a French manufacturer would rise to defeat the dominant Mercedes, and okay, so they rigged the race a bit, adding a few straw bales to favour the French car's superior handling, but it was a thriller. The eventual winner was a Frenchman, René Dreyfus, and he was in a French car, a Delahaye. And as a final insult to the Nazis, he was Jewish. When the war broke out, Dreyfus was spirited away to New York for his own safety, and the victorious car was put into hiding. After the war, they found not only 1, but 2 cars. See, the French had made a replica in case the Germans found and destroyed the original, and to this day, no one now knows which car is the original and which car is the replica.
Okay, you count
On
down.
your marks.
In French.
I'll do it the French way, okay?
Okay.
Un, deux. Shit.
Oh! I don't do PE.
Suicidal cyclists, moped riders with a death wish, pedestrians with their faces in phones, and van drivers intent on crushing you and your will to live, and a million battered worthless hatchbacks. Paris traffic is a maelstrom.
Oh my God. The very first Quattroporte came out in the early 60s, but this is the 6th generation, utilising the same V8 as found in the Ferrari California. Now it's set up slightly differently, but it still produces 530 brake horsepower with 710 Newton meters available on overboost. And despite weighing 1,900 kilos, this thing can still hit 100 kph in just 4.7 seconds and sail on to 190 miles per hour in soundproofed luxury.
You can see from our inane grins that we love the Quattroporte. The Italian Ministry of Defence does too, because in 2011 they ordered a fleet of 19 of them at huge expense. We've got a day to cross the other side of town and no time to spare. It's time for a bit of creative diplomacy.
Montlhéry isn't Paris's only race circuit. There's another circuit, it's almost hidden, and actually it's not for cars. That's where we're off now.
Just in the same way as London had problems with the Ace Cafe and cafe races on the London North Circular, the same problem existed here in Paris.
The French government, after a final fatality of a lady called Carol, decided that enough was enough, they had to do something about it. So in a uniquely French way, they actually paid for a racetrack and built it here under the flight path of Charles de Gaulle Airport on the outskirts of Paris. And today, bikers can come down and enjoy a track day, often for free, instead of causing chaos on the roads. And I think it's a great answer to an old problem.
And it certainly shows that Parisian motorsport is far from dead.
Faut faire des pompiers. C'est ouf comme cette paire de pompes me ramène à la vie. Tu connais pas mes plans, mes projets sont percés par celle-ci. C'est le futige, ajouter au targe au plastique. En partant du principe, c'est l'emblème de mon esprit. Je fous le seum, je suis une...
Paris never fails to excite. These two circuits might not compare to the Eiffel Tower, but they've left their mark on racing history and they deserve to be better remembered. They show Parisian innovation at its very best.